Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be talking about dating in Mexico and what to expect. Yes, this is an important topic that I thought I should definitely cover, and I'm sure a lot of you out there are curious to know, especially those of you who are looking to visit Mexico, stay an extended period in Mexico, or even permanently move here. So if you're single and you're out there looking for something, well, I'm gonna break down to what to expect when you get to Mexico, or before you get to Mexico rather, so you know what to expect. And yes, we'll get right into it and just give you the breakdown. That's pretty much what we got going on today. And disclaimer, this is from a man dating women's perspective, but ladies, I will say there will be some pieces of advice in here that you can use because it's on a general scale of the culture. So stick around, I got a little something for everybody. So with no further ado, let's get into the first part of this video. So let's begin with where to meet people. Now, depending on how you like to go about your dating strategies, there are many different ways, obviously, to meet people, but I'm gonna give you the most practical ways of meeting people here. And they're gonna be dating apps and in-person approach. So that's way. Well, I'll throw in a third one. Meeting people just by being in a group of friends. So I'll give you three right there because I think these are the top three ways of finding romantic interest. So let's start with dating apps. So dating apps, of course, we all know how to use them, most of us at least. And I can say that I've had quite a bit of success here in Mexico, in different parts of Mexico too, with dating apps. And, not everything worked out. Some worked out well and we had a great time, but, it just is what it is. So we're going to talk about Bumble first. I think if you're looking for something like more consistent, like you're trying to date, maybe lead to a relationship, Bumble is the best bet for you out there, fellas, and you ladies too, because I've heard some ladies tell me that the guys on Bumble are better than Tinder because Tinder guys can be a little nutty. That's what I've heard. So I'm just going by the stories that have been told to me. But in general, it seems to be the more like people who are consistent. And even if you don't get a relationship out of it, I find that most people, women that I interact with on Bumble, they're, because the lady has to make the move first. So it's a little bit different. So I find to get better quality and just more consistency with women on Bumble. Now, second, there's Tinder, which is probably equally as popular as Bumble, I think so. And we all know Tinder, there's women that are just seeking attention. I'm sure guys out there doing the same thing, but you'll be able to tell those profiles with just their IG and stuff like that. You're not going anywhere with those. But I've had some success on Tinder as well. And I know people who've had relationships they met off Tinder here in Mexico, here in other countries as well. So they're both can be good. They both can be good. It just depends on what you're looking for. But those are the two most popular that are everywhere here in Mexico. If you like OkCupid, that one, depending on where you are, you can find some. I find it harder to use here in Mexico, even though there's quite a bit of women on there. But, it just depends on what you like. And Hinge, which is more popular in the United States, but you can occasionally find some matches on there here as well, but it's much more rare. So yeah, those I would say to go with dating apps. And yeah, you just do like you would do in any other country, set up the date, meet somewhere, and then see how it goes. So next, we will break down in-person approach. In-person approach. Now, for you fellas out there that prefer this method, and for you ladies too as well, because I'm saying for both because the culture is very accepting. Now, let's keep it real. Most men are not going to push away a woman unless he's married or something like that. So, and for ladies, it's a little bit easier for you all, but for the fellas out there, in-person approach here in Mexico, you may have had experiences in other maybe Western countries or wherever you may have approached women. I'm not sure, everybody has a different story, but I'm sure a lot of you out there have approached some women and they weren't too friendly, they didn't want to talk to you, they weren't interested. But in the most part, from my experience I'm going by, and generally in Mexico, and I live in Guadalajara, which is the second biggest city in Mexico, so it's a big city attitude. And but I think similarly around Mexico, being that I lived in different places and visited around a little bit and met people, I think that we can generalize it. So in my opinion, women here are quite approachable. Of course, just come with respect and, do the smooth thing like you would do anywhere else. But even if if they're not into you or they really have a boyfriend, but they're just being nice, they'll talk to you. They're not going to look at you like you lost your mind. I've approached women in person, gotten their numbers, set up dates, things like that. So, I think that it works. I mean, if you're not intimidated by that, or if you're a person who goes for that, if you're one of the old school dudes like, listen, I want my in-person approach, and it's good. And the best way that you could do that, I'm gonna put these two in one. In person, let's say you're with another friend of yours and you see a pair of girls at the bar and you want to go talk to them, just walk up together, talk, and then see how the conversation flows. Or if you're by yourself and you see another lady by herself, just make conversation however you do it. Now, I must say, 9 times out of 10, you're going to need some decent Spanish, but you'll find a lot of people here, younger, especially college age, speak English, but Spanish is key. So remember that. And by association. So knowing somebody, making a local friend here and meeting their friends, getting invited to parties, events, then you meet people through other people. So that's very common too as well. And not only here in Mexico, in Latin America. I lived in Brazil for 3 years, and that was how I would meet, girls, either if I worked with them or met them through friends or at a party or, just social gatherings. So that's another way. And in my opinion, I mean, even the girls here in Guadalajara, they're extremely beautiful, known as some of the best in Mexico. They're very approachable, and something may come of it, something may not, but you know what? Life is a numbers game, so we gotta talk to more to get more results, work more to make more money, put more investment in to get your worth back. So anyway, yes, I think that basically breaks down what the best dating apps are, what to expect, and yeah, I hope I put something good in there and useful for you. So if you are single and thinking about coming to Mexico, these tips will help you. And like I said, you can use them generally around the country. I'm sure it's similar in Mexico City, Monterrey, other big cities, smaller places. Whatever you prefer, the way you prefer about going about it, I'm sure you'll have a lot of success out here. Just remember the Spanish, because that's critical. But I want to thank you all for joining me in this video. I hope this is informative to you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if this is something you find of value. And I do appreciate you just clicking the link and watching my video. So thank you for that. And you all have a great day wherever you are. And we'll be back again in another video.